So the title of my message is, what did you expect? I don't know if you guys have ever had, you made some stupid decision to do something, and then you got negative consequences for it, and then your parents go, well, what did you expect? Right? Can't know that. So that's what it's about. What did you expect? Listen to Matthew 20, verse 1 to 15. Okay, can I read? Okay, for the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. After agreeing with the workers on 1 denarius for the day, he sent them out into the vineyard. When he went out about 9 in the morning, he saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. To those men he said, "You also go to my vineyard, and I'll give you whatever is right." So off they went. About noon, and at 3, he went out again and did the same thing. Then about 5, he went and found others standing around and said to them, "Why have you been standing here all day doing nothing?" "Because no one hired us," they said to him. "You also go to my vineyard," he told them. When evening came, the owner of a vineyard told his foreman, "Call the workers and give them their pay, starting with the last and ending with the first." When those who were hired, about 5, came, they each received 1 denarius. So when the first ones came, they assumed they would get more, but they also received a denarius each. Just keep your place there. So what did they do? They assumed, they expected to get something else. Right. They thought, they made up their mind, they reasoned among themselves that they're going to get something different than what they agreed to. But the agreement in the first place was 1 denarius each. Okay, carry on. Where was I? Verse 11. Right, when they received it, they began to complain to the landowner. "These last men put in 1 hour, and you made them equal to us who bore the burden of the day and the burning heat." He replied to them, "Friend, I'm doing you no wrong. Didn't you agree with me on 1 denarius? Take what is yours and go. I want to give the last man the same as I gave you. Don't I have the right to do what I want with my business? Are you jealous because I am generous?" I've spoken about this a few times because this statement just gets me. Some Bibles say, "Is your eye evil because I am good?" It's quite an intense statement. But the thing is, no one was wronged in that situation. They didn't get what they expected. But like my parents used to say to me, "What did you expect?" Did I expect 2 denarius when the landowner agreed on 1? Was I being wronged in my life when I got what I asked for? You see, the thing is, our actions and our behaviors call certain consequences, certain results toward us. So if you do something negative and you get something negative, how can you complain because you didn't get something positive? You see, that's what happens. Now, and then we also get into a place where, man, I was in addiction for 11 years, which is peanuts to some guys, but also 2 peanuts to others. You get what I'm saying? So, 11 years of addiction, I caused chaos. Then I come into recovery. I do a year program. Well, the 3rd time I did a year program. Do a year program, and then I think all of a sudden it cancels out the 11 years of chaos. And I just want people to see the good year that I've had. And as soon as they refer to me as the past 11 years, I get upset. I'm no longer that person. How can you judge me from that? They don't know anything else. What did I expect? Did I expect them to see me 1 year compared to 11? 6 months compared to... You get what I'm saying? No. It's not going to happen. I cause so much chaos in my life that the only thing that people can expect is chaos. And then I get upset if that's the only thing that they want from me or can expect from me. Now, how do I change that? Glad you asked. Successful habits will make successful people. So if we can change the small things in our lives, the big things will change. If you want to have a healthy lifestyle, you want to eat healthy, you want to be healthy, you want to look fit, well, you have to start with spending less money at the tuck shop. Okay, so an example, start eating more fruit, just cutting down on your bread.
Don't smoke.
Don't smoke, y'all. Smoke less? Okay, carry on smoking. But some small habits have to be in place so that you can change it, so you can change your life. If I want to be a millionaire one day, it's not just going to happen. I have to save R1 at a time. I have to have the goal, but I have to have the habit of a saver. So I have to have the habits of a person who makes investments. If you want to have a different life, start with different habits. You see, life is about partnerships. I don't know if you guys know that. Who you spend your time with is who you partner with. So if we keep watching all these crazy, I'm talking to myself now, crazy Viking stuff. I don't know, I should have been a Viking back in the day. That's what I'm partnering with. Let's go a little bit more raw. If I keep reading The Hustler, you guys know what that is? Just check. I'm partnering with that. What am I going to get? Am I going to get healthy relationships because I'm reading the articles in The Hustler? Right? I'm all of a sudden going to meet the right girl. It's not going to happen, man. But then I don't meet the right girl, or I meet dodgy peoples, and then I'm like, oh, what did I expect? Like, oh, life is so unfair. Can't meet right people. But who am I partnering with? Who am I spending my time with? See, we got the rules at the centre. We don't like the swearing stuff. Okay, number one, swearing replaces real words. And if something is really pretty, it's not effing pretty. You can put another word there, Deborah. Sorry, we all know why. God resist. I'm still a little bit naughty. And the second thing is, because if you keep partnering with that, it's going to be the thing you keep saying the whole time. So now, yeah, it's any great movie these days, man, it really sucks. I like blood and gory stuff, but it also at the same time, I get a check in my spirit, so you have to decide which life I want to live, and it's a difficult thing, because then I'm like, I don't know if I told you guys the story, but I'm gonna. You know who John Claude Van Damme is? Right? Yes, man, when I was about 14 years old, he was my superhero. This guy was like, man, John Claude Van Damme, you know what I mean? That's the oak to be. So, anyways, and I came to a place where it was like a Bible camp, and I get to a place where I'm like, yeah, Lord, I'm going to give my life to you, and I got this poster of John Claude Van Damme, and in the bottom, back in the day, it was 2 to 16. You guys remember that? That's the age restriction. And I'm 14, and I get this conviction, and I'm like, oh, God, watch this. And I get upset with John Claude Van Damme because why is he making movies that's only rated 16 and this and that? But if I wanted to carry on living that life, stop watching that nonsense. I didn't stop. John Claude Van Damme was pretty cool. Then I found out he got beat up in the pub and it wasn't all that bad. What did I expect? Okay, you see the thing is, an expectation is a strong belief that something is going to happen the way you expect it to happen. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Because I believe it strongly doesn't make it the truth. Because you believe it strongly doesn't make it the truth. Let's say, for example, we use Jericho's system over here. Say the swear word. Deborah, I'm not picking on you. Right? Say the swear word, the F-bomb, come to committee, you don't get 7 days. Then somebody else has also said the swear word and comes to committee and they get 7 days. The second person, it's like the story in the Bible, gets upset because the first person didn't get consequences. But both of them had the same agreement that it would be 7 days if you swear. But the committee just decided not to give the first guy the 7 days. The second person wasn't wronged before because the first person didn't get consequences. And then we go through life as the second person, upset that the first person didn't get consequences and blaming the system, but we still got justice. We didn't get treated wrongly. Can you guys identify that? And then every single decision gets based on that because resentment builds up, it gets bigger and gets bigger and gets bigger. And we need to find a release somehow, and then we make wrong choices, and then we find our release in some sinful, fun way. And then afterwards, what did you expect? See, we can trace it back all the way, but we expected something wrong. I mean, I got hammered the one night and took some sleeping pills, and then I stole 2 phones, and then I was going to go and sell them. And on the way to go and buy drugs, I fall asleep behind the steering wheel, crash into another car, tow truck comes in, and then I still try and ride my car to the dealer just to go and score my last hit. And then I'm like miffed the next day because my car was busted up. What did I expect? And I had those what did I expect moments. Yes, I had many, man. I'm sure you guys have also. But every single time I felt that I was wrong. When I was the one doing wrong. I didn't know it doesn't work like that. Here's a question. Did you really think you would have a say in your consequences? But you don't. Most of us thought we would have a say in our consequences. But we don't. You see, what happens is, maybe we agree and we say we're going to come to rehab, right? And we get to rehab and it's not what we expected. What do we want to do? Then we don't want to carry on with rehab. So we forget about the problem and the reason why we had to go there in the first place, but just because our expectations weren't met, we forget about it, so we want to leave.
Sure.
You start working in a new company, and then the boss is an ass. Here's another one. You get expected to work in working hours. People get upset about that. We have to change our expectations. You see, are your expectations based on your needs or on reality? I think if you're really, really honest with yourself, you'll probably find your expectations are based on your needs. And because my needs aren't met, I'm disappointed and I'm frustrated and I'm unhappy. But if you change it to the reality of what's happening in your life, you'll probably find that life is fair based on what's happening. Yes, there's some things that's not fair. I'm not saying those things are cool that happen to us. But if we look at something unfair that's happened to us and we used it the wrong way, we expressed it the wrong way, we handled it the wrong way, how can we expect the right to come? We still have to take responsibility for what we do, no matter what. Because somewhere we have to draw a line in the sand and say enough is enough. I've had it with this just falling off the wagon, just chaos and pain and hurt. And, you know, I've had it. I'm drawing a line in the sand. This is the last time I'm dealing with it. I'm doing it, and I'm doing it properly. Because once again, if we do it half-heartedly and you end up doing this thing again, what did you expect?
Amen.
So draw the line. I've had it. It's enough now. I want my life to be different. And then draw it. And then you do what you have to do. Because you cannot get positive results if you don't put in the effort. You know, there's this, I think the guy's name is Mark Batterson. He's some pastor and a book writer and stuff. And he says, you can't expect God to rock up in the pulpit if you deny Him in your study.
Sure.
Now, that same principle is in effect in everything. We can't expect to get an A+ if we put in a D- effort. And then get upset with the results. Really, guys, recovery is not easy. It's not fun. That's why let's just do it once. You know, some of us we live by that statement. I do it 5, 6, 7 times just to make sure. But I can tell you it sucks doing it more than once. One time is enough. But let's just do it. You don't have to be in agreement with all the leaders around you. You don't expect perfection to change you. Because you're not going to get it.
Amen.
You get what I'm saying? That expectation, if you're going to expect me to be perfect, man, close, but no, I'm joking. Not going to happen. You see, here's the thing. If I've given you advice that is truthful, that is accurate, that is fair, that will help you, and then I make a mistake afterwards that offends you, does my advice automatically become null and void?
No.
No, it doesn't. But we treat it like that. So my dad will correct me, and he will bless me, and he will help me, and he'll do this, and he'll do that, and then I get upset because he says I can't go out with my friend. Then all of a sudden I get upset with my dad, and everything he's taught me goes out the window because he's not being my dad right now. He's not doing what I want. Your boss gives you an increase, car allowance, I don't know, a whole bunch of nice stuff, and then you get corrected for something that's not your fault, and all of a sudden you don't appreciate everything you've got. He makes a mistake, he does something wrong in the future. Can you guys identify with that?
Yes.
And it steals so much from us. I don't know how much it's stolen from you, but it's stolen too much from me. Good advice is good advice no matter who gives it. And it doesn't become null and void because the person who gave it has made a mistake afterwards. My parents were awesome parents, but I was such a selfish, insecure little boy that in moments like that, the advice they would give me, I would just disregard it because I felt they weren't being good enough to me because they didn't meet my needs. And little did I know that is where my trouble started. When I wasn't much shorter back then. When I was this big. Right? And I was about 9. But that's the thing. That behavior carried through everything. Every teacher gives you advice, and then something happens later, we disregard it. Have healthy habits and have a healthy life. Proverbs says, I think it's Proverbs, well, let me just put it this way, the Bible says, a fool despises correction. So, I'm not saying you must love correction. It's a difficult thing. But how's about we just take it? And I think that's fair, right? Instead of despising it, let's take it. No matter where it comes from, it doesn't matter, let's just take correction. It doesn't say a fool despises correction from so-and-so. He just despises it. And it doesn't say a wise person takes correction from so-and-so. So we should just take it, no matter where it comes from, right? Take the correction, and let's see where that gets us. Because if you look at a wise person, what it's classified or how you define a wise person, it is somebody who applies the knowledge he has. And if you look what the definition of a fool is, it is someone who doesn't apply the knowledge that he has. So if the correction comes to you and somebody says, don't do that, you have the knowledge. If you still carry on doing it, you become the fool. Or if you stop doing it, you become a wise person. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter where the correction comes from, it's how you take it. Okay, so it's a Friday night. I was preaching. What do you expect? Something light-hearted? I don't know. Anyways, let's pray. Heavenly Father, I thank you for an opportunity just to share, man. It's really pretty awesome. Lord, I pray that you'll take us to a place where we can go and we can really say, you know, what did we expect to happen? Did we really think we were going to get a different result when we had that action in our life, when we made that decision, when we made that choice? Did we really think that was going to happen because we allowed this person into our life? It's just, God, give us a reality check, man, so that we can understand what to expect, how to get what we really need to get, want to get, and put the habits and the lifestyle changes in place to get it. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Cool. Have a good evening, everybody.